students like, they like humor.
Yes.
I do look at my student evaluations from previous classes, and students say they really like the humor, even though I'm sarcastic and I'm cynical and so forth. They like that.
Sense of humor.
Yeah, they like that, and it keeps them engaged. And it's very important to keep the students interested. I mean, because I'm doing this because I want them to learn.
Seriously? They microwave their phone? This does not work well, I'm assuming.
No, absolutely.
I would assume something explodes at some point.
Yeah,
They microwave
it
it.
works for like fiber phones and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really bad.
You know, there's a comment that a comedian I enjoy sometimes made once. He said, beauty is skin deep, but stupid goes to the bone.
When I'm preparing my lecture and I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, then I think about what can I relate this to in the real world. What may be example from my own life or from someone I know, something I've observed. Because you've got to make it real. In the sense, it's not just theory. It's things that we can really use every day. Students are more spoiled. And a lot of students, look at our class. There are 58 students enrolled in that class. On any given day, how many students are there? Maybe 30, 35?
A lot.
No, we're missing easily 20 to 25 students in every class.
I think the participation in our class is maybe one of the best AM class.
Well, that's kind of sad. Because here's the thing, look at how much money people are paying to go to school, and they don't come to class. And it's the same people who show up all the time. I have students I never see until the exam. And colleagues and I have talked about this for years, and there was a time, a long time ago, when going to college was a privilege. And now people just treat it like something they buy, like admission to a movie theater. I paid for this, I can go if I want to, I don't have to go if I don't want to. And a lot of students think they're owed a certain grade simply because they signed up for the class. I don't buy into that sort of logic. A grade is something the student earns. So, and the students who come to class, those are the ones I like. They're interesting, they ask questions. There's just been a general shift in terms of attitude on the part of many students in terms of, a lot of students, I don't think, some segment, I don't know how large it is of students, they're really not that interested in learning, they just want to get the degree. Because they see the degree as a ticket into the job market. And that's not all their fault. Employers have, over time, come to use a college degree as a ticket into the job market, in the sense that they won't allow people to apply for a job they have unless they have a college degree, even if the job doesn't require it. I mean, they didn't have computers, they didn't have cell phones.
They didn't use internet.
Yeah, they didn't use any of that because it didn't exist, okay? I mean, seriously, when I started teaching, when I was in graduate school, we got one of the first desktop computers in the offices I was working in. Now, I can remember one of the first times a student had a cell phone in one of my classes. That was maybe 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago at most, but her phone rang in class. And she got very embarrassed, and I said, well, Felicia is now going to order pizzas for all of us, and she has a phone. And she said, I will never let that happen again, okay? I had a colleague who was giving a final exam, or one of the exams in the class, and suddenly the fire alarm went off. And it was deliberately set up. A student who was taking the exam had a friend pull the fire alarm, and then while students were getting up and getting ready to leave, he pulled out his phone and he was taking pictures of the exam so that he could then go and study them and figure out all the answers when they resumed the exam. Well, if you fail to edit this, will it affect your grade in my class? No, because I will never see this, so no,
Okay, just
Your, okay.